So today's video is going to be a little bit different. I got up this morning and I wanted to make a video. I was going to record another Red Dead Online video, but I just uploaded 2 videos on that, and I've mentioned before that I like to keep the videos on this channel kind of varied a little bit, so I wanted to record something a little bit different before returning to Red Dead Online. I will be returning to Red Dead, so don't worry, but today I just wanted to do something a little bit different, and the first game that came to my mind was none other than Battlefield 2042. If you're big into FPS games, then you've probably heard of the company DICE. And if you've heard of DICE, then you know about Battlefield. And if you know about Battlefield, then you know about DICE's latest creation that has everybody talking, Battlefield 2042. You'll notice that I said that everyone's talking about it, but I never said that they had anything good to say. That's because this game is complete, utter garbage. I don't just mean that the game is bad, and I don't just mean that the player base is toxic. I mean this game, this AAA game made by a multi-million-dollar company, doesn't even succeed at the most fundamental thing that makes a game a game. It's not even playable. I realized that I couldn't make a gameplay video on this because there's no gameplay to be had. And I mean that literally. If you're wondering why the video is just the trailers for the game and there's no actual gameplay, it's because in order to get gameplay, I'd have to run this game on my laptop, which is a 2-year-old Alienware, by the way, with a 2070 in it, and I couldn't get 20 frames in it. So you put that on top of the controls, which are already horrid to begin with, and a recording software, and the game just can't be played. At the time I'm making this video, the amount of people playing Battlefield 2042 on Steam is less than 10,000. That is absolutely insane. And if that doesn't tell you how bad the game is, I honestly don't know what will. Now, I'm not a news or rant channel, right? My content is mostly just gameplay and commentary and funny moments videos, stuff to make people laugh. But as somebody who loves Battlefield and has been watching as the franchise slowly descends more and more into horribleness, I just couldn't ignore this anymore. This video probably isn't going to be able to cover anything that the larger channels haven't already touched on, but what I can offer is my personal opinions about the game and how it's affected me as an average Battlefield player. Again, it's not going to be anything super in-depth, just my personal opinions about the current state of the game. Whether you've played the game or not, you probably know that this game is literally broken. I'm starting to think that DICE just took the pre-alpha and accidentally released that instead of the actual game. Bugs are always gonna be in newly released multiplayer games, especially when it comes to Battlefield, and I normally give the devs the benefit of the doubt because in the past they've been pretty decent at patching issues, but this is a whole other level. When I see ground vehicles flying through the air like a jet, or when I unload an entire mag on somebody only for them to suddenly stab me from behind, that's when I start to look at the game and ask myself if the devs are just doing it on purpose at this point. Honestly, I was originally going to talk about individual bugs, but there are just too many to address them one by one. You want to know how bad this game is? According to Tom Henderson, a cheating service literally had to suspend its services and its subscriptions because the game is so broken that the cheats don't work properly. What the fuck? Think about that for a second. The game is so broken that people can't break it. Speaks for itself, doesn't it? This is a AAA game made by DICE, and this is how low they've gotten. That's honestly abysmal. This game costs $60. 60! What do the devs have to say about this? So this is what one of them said. Back to work today. Check Reddit and Twitter, and Battlefield fans are pissed we didn't do enough updates or communication during the holiday break. Guys, people gotta rest. We have things in motion, but we have to figure out what is possible. We will address it when we are 100%. Let us get back from break and get back to work. Love you guys, but these expectations are brutal. The things you want take time to scope, design, and execute. This tweet has since been deleted, but you can still find it on a lot of other places. I'm sure everyone who's read this has said this already. I didn't realize that expecting a game that's retailed at $60 to work was a brutal expectation. Alright, so what is it you guys would like to see in our new game? Well, we'd like it to work.
What the hell, dude? What do I look like, Superman? You must be crazy.
It is true that games take time to make, and I definitely agree with the notion that people need rest in order to deliver a quality product. How long was this game in development again? Okay, well, no wonder this game is shit. Let's take a moment and look in the past for a second. So for the past few years, Battlefield games have been set in the past, specifically during World War I and World War II. Battlefield 1 was good in my opinion because I feel like it set the standard for what a World War I game should be, but Battlefield 5 was just kinda eh. These aren't the first Battlefield games to be set in the past, but by the time Battlefield 5 was making its final rounds, a lot of people, including myself, were kinda tired of being in a past setting and just kinda wanted things to be more modern like Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 4. When I heard the game was gonna be set in the near future, I was ecstatic. The reason for this is because it reminded me of one of my favorite FPS games of all time, Black Ops 2. That game was set in the near future and it was amazing. And the idea of that concept being applied to a Battlefield game got me really excited, but all any of us got, was disappointment. I see this game as having a lot of potential, but DICE has fallen victim to the oldest problem in the book. They got anxious, and they released the game before it was ready. I think I speak for all of us when I say that I would have rather waited the extra months and gotten a game that was finished and ready to play, instead of getting it early and having it be trash. Dude, this game could have been so good if only it had more time put into it. I don't want to say that no effort was put in because I'm sure the devs worked really hard on it, they just didn't work on it for long enough. Let's go back to Battlefield 1. Listen to some of these voice lines from the game.
They push. We push. Every once in a while, we push hard enough that the light breaks through the clouds. And a world beyond the war glimmers. The war is the world, and the world is the war. But behind every gun sight is a human being.
And now listen to this garbage from Battlefield 2042.
I am not overconfident. I'm just better than everyone else.
Are you really surprised?
That was something, right?
Holy shit. War has plagued humanity ever since the beginning. The greatest demonstration of primal instinct is exemplified through the acts of war. I've lost countless friends in combat, and nobody blinked an eye. Whenever I look back on it, I can't help but think to myself, my nation won, but how much have I lost?
Bro, that shit was easy. You guys are actually trash. Easy win, bro.
This is what DICE thinks soldiers are gonna be like 20 years from now? Yeah, bro, I remember hearing stories of soldiers coming back from Vietnam and they were just like, bro, that was so crazy. Like, honestly, that was whack. Did you see that? I gotta hand it to the devs though. They managed to do something I've never seen before in a Battlefield game. So you got the player, right? The one sitting there playing the game. And then you got the soldier who the player is playing as. DICE somehow managed to take the two and switch them. Because now we're the ones screaming in horror while the soldiers in the game are just like, alright, peek mid. Kyle's dead, there's two pushing up, killed him bro, they're trash. Like what? I thought this game was supposed to be about a violent and bloody war. Why is everyone acting like they're enjoying themselves in combat? Like, is it a joke to them? Okay, so cringy voice lines aside, let's talk about the specialists. This is just my opinion, so I'm not claiming to be right. I personally hate the concept of specialists in this game. I like the idea of having different characters with their own unique personality, but something about it just doesn't feel right in Battlefield. I wouldn't have minded this so much if it weren't for the fact that they traded this for the class system. Yeah, you heard that right. There's no classes. Seeing classes get taken away, it feels wrong. Classes were one of the things that made Battlefield Battlefield, and seeing it substituted for what we got is just flat out embarrassing. Like, dude, this is Battlefield, it's not fucking Overwatch. I would much prefer to be able to customize my appearance in greater detail and just leave it at that. There are even some games out there where the character customization is so intuitive that it not only lets you customize your appearance, but also your voice and personality too. This would have been so great to see in Battlefield 2042 instead of the cocky bastards that we got. I can't help but wonder how the devs thought this would be a good idea. Listen, I want the devs to prove me wrong. I want them to show me that this actually is a really good game. The potential is there, I know it is. And I know that the whole game isn't gonna get fixed overnight. I just think that the concept is really good and I'd hate to see it go to waste. There are some rumors going around that they're just gonna abandon this game and start working on a new one, but I don't think players would be too excited because this is probably gonna have some long-lasting impacts on the Battlefield community. In other words, if this game doesn't start showing improvement, then I don't think anyone's gonna buy into the next one either. I could keep talking about this game and everything that's wrong with it for hours, but I think now is probably a good time to call it quits before I get a little too carried away. If you guys enjoyed the video or if you agree with anything I've said, then please leave a like and subscribe if you're new here. Like I said, this isn't my typical style of video, but if you enjoyed it, then definitely check out some of my other content as well. I try to make sure that there's something for everyone here. That said, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.